Yeah, that's good
Okay,
because I need a recording after you finish.
very good. I will send that around. Okay, so that's going, and there's also, let me make sure we don't have anybody in the chat here. Okay, so I do my best to keep my eye on those, but if not, just somebody let me know if
Okay,
there's
sure.
someone there. Okay, what I was going to say is sometimes you might have to hold the Control and the Alt key at the same time, and those are just combinations there that that you would use. Can you do it on the left or the right? Yes, it doesn't matter. These keys are also on the right side of the space bar.
So when I do the Control and Alt, what is going to be happen?
Well, I'm just saying there is a way that if you, we'll get to it in troubleshooting, that we might need the Alt key, but right now we haven't used it.
Troubleshooting, okay.
All right. Okay, there, the keys here are directional keys right here. And those are very helpful when we need to move around in Excel. You can use back, up, down, forward, and so forth. So those are the arrow keys. And then the enter key here is, of course, when if you're searching something and you enter, you put your address into the browser, you type it in, that's just like return or whatever on the keyboard. Backspace, a lot of times people do get confused between the delete key, which in this case is in the very top, and the backspace. Okay, backspace is going to take away whatever is right immediately to the left of the cursor. And delete is going to take away whatever is highlighted. So there's a little difference there in the way those work. Not a super big deal, just be aware that if you're trying to delete something, you may want to use the backspace. Okay, so the shift key works to get, to capitalize and give us, the options up there on the symbols. And sometimes we do need it for some of these characters here at the top of the, like the less than or greater than or the question mark. Sometimes those, but those just work like, you'd be familiar on a computer. All right, paging up and paging down can sometimes be helpful when you're browsing on the internet. You don't want to sit there and scroll with the mouse.
Where's the page up, page down?
Page up and page down should be over on the right side.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a larger keyboard or if you're on a desktop computer, you may have
10 keys on the side.
Yeah, you may have the number keys over there, and the page up and page down are on those as well.
Yes.
You just would have a num lock, which would switch from the numbers to the characters.
What is the scroll lock? Scroll lock.
Well, I would think it means that well, let's see. I have a scroll lock on mine.
And this is scroll lock, and the top says INS.
Insert would be, yeah. Those are going to depend on your program that you're using. And so sometimes a program is going to access those and allow you to do those, use those buttons, but they're not in general ones that we need. Okay. So that's the basics. Any questions on that? I was going to mention the number pad here, or the trackpad, sorry. If you're on a laptop, sometimes it's really difficult for people to transition from using a mouse, or maybe if you're even new to using the mouse. But when you go to the trackpad on a laptop, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. First of all, if you don't want to use it, you can connect a mouse to your laptop and not worry about it. Second, if you only want to use one finger on the touchpad at a time, if you have even your other hand resting on it, it's going to mess it up. It's not going to understand where you want it to move. The biggest thing is if you tap that, if you just do a quick tap on it, so you tap it, it's the same as a click. So you don't always have to push down. And that's what sometimes people get confused, because they're like, well, I didn't click it. It just went to this other website or whatever. So you can turn that off in settings if it's too sensitive. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like, well, I didn't really intend to click there. I just wanted to to move my mouse or something. So tapping this pad once or tapping it twice can do different things, different mouse functions. So we could turn that off on the computer if it's a problem, but just be aware of it. And then sometimes there's a scroll over here, and I think that's actually what that scroll lock pertains to. If you tap over here, it will allow you to scroll up and down on the page. So if you're looking at you're looking at a web page or something, and you can use that to scroll just like on your mouse wheel. So I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna take screen share off just a second. Maybe I am. Stop share, there we go. Okay, so the mouse that I'm using, it has a wheel and it has a cord. The variations on this, there's a lot. You can have wireless, and then sometimes you can have two separate buttons, the left and right. Sometimes they look separate, sometimes they're all one unit, but they still function separately. Sometimes you can have something on the side. Can't really show you that because I don't have anything there, but sometimes there's a button on the side. Okay, so the scroll wheel is what allows you to do the page up, page down, or basically you're scrolling up and scrolling down. And you can do that on the laptop touchpad, but sometimes it's a little tricky. So those would be in settings, and we'll look in settings in just a few minutes about how we can change some of those options. So if you have a wireless mouse, usually it's going to function best. Most of the mice are going to function best if you have a good mouse pad, or at least a dark surface. So I do recommend having something that will both kind of slow you down, give you a little better control, but you can change that mouse. There's a lot of things you can do. So I'm going to look at that first. We'll show you some ways that you can change your mouse settings so that it might work a little bit better for you. Okay. All right, and let me see if there's anything else before we do that. I'm going to go over connections, but we've already talked about volume control. You might have a volume control somewhere else on the computer, but typically it is on the keyboard. And I think let's go look at the mouse settings, and then I will talk about some things that you might be connecting to your computer to do different things. Okay, so I'm going to share, and let's see, I want to just share my screen. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, won't let me do that. Move it down here though. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the button on the keyboard now, the start button. It's going to pop up here. A couple of things. This, it's not going to look the same on any two computers really, unless they're brand new, because as you use different programs, they're going to appear as your more popular applications. Sorry. Okay, so the brand of my computer that I'm demonstrating on is Lenovo. So you can see it has some programs here. It's just showing me different things that I might want. It's always trying to make things easier for you. So if you've used it recently, then it's going to pop up there. You can see here, same thing, recently added. I'm not sure if you can read that, but the alphabetical list here are options that I have available, applications that I have available on the computer. And let's say that I don't see what I want, so I can always type it in. Okay, I started typing settings, and it automatically starts to go there. I have some options. I can open settings. I can pin to the taskbar, which is that bar at the very bottom of the window. So down there where all the little icons are, right down here. Okay, so some things that you use commonly, you can pin down there and they'll just be there. You don't have to go searching for them. I'm not sure exactly what app settings that would be pertaining just to, that's the settings for settings. So let's go ahead and open. Now, I didn't ask for anything specific, but right now I want to know about the mouse. So I can type in mouse settings. I could have done that from the very start down there. I could have put mouse settings. And it gives me some ideas of what I might want to try, but I'll just go to the first one here. I'm going to click on mouse settings. Can you all see that okay, or do I need to enlarge?
Yeah, I see it.
Is that good? Okay. So if I had a Bluetooth mouse, I could add that here. A lot of times now, the computer will automatically pick up any device that you have on. Roll the mouse wheel to scroll. One screen at a time or multiple lines at a time? Well, I don't think I would want a whole screen every time I move the mouse, so that's where I want it. And then it tells you how many. So you can see it's very, I mean, there's just lots of options here. I really want to do, get this out of the way. Let's say that I want to change the mouse and cursor size. I would have thought there would have been a link right on that front page, but it's over, I see one here. It says adjust mouse and cursor size. So I want the cursor to be easier to see. So let's make it a little bit bigger. So there we go. Now y'all can see it a little bit better probably.
Yes.
All right. I think I'll make it black. I'm waiting for it to change there. It's on my screen. It actually hasn't changed on the Zoom because I'm watching that from a separate monitor, but let's just leave it there for right now. Let's see, pointer size. Okay. All right, let's see. And obviously you've got all these different options here. Let's see, we were going to change the speed at which it moves. Let's see, additional mouse options. Okay, double click speed.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you make it a little bigger? Very tiny. I cannot even read that stuff, you know. Can you make it a little bigger?
You might need to, is it filling up the whole screen on your?
Yes.
It is? Okay.
But it's still very tiny.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. Well, I can do.
Zoom it out a little bit, maybe.
I can try.
Thank you.
Sometimes this gets a little hard to keep track of, but we'll give it a try. Ah, okay.
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for mouse speed.
Mouse.
Used to they put all these on one, but I guess it's not bad to have a choice here. Find a setting. Where did it go? So what mouse speed would do is if you tend to like have trouble controlling because it goes too fast or it's too slow for you, that's what you would do there.
Okay.
All right, I'm not going to go all the way through that.
No.
Anytime you have an arrow to your left up here, that takes you back one level. So it's just the things that we have already seen. Now, if I want to close this out, then I would just go over.
Before you go there.
Yes.
What is color filter?
Ooh, let's see, where's color filter?
Color arrow. Yeah.
Easier to see by applying the color filter to your screen. This is probably something for...
After the magnifier.
Okay. My guess is it is for people who have, color blindness. Yeah, so it's like a accessibility feature, like if you can't see certain colors.
Okay.
Yeah, and it makes certain ones more prominent. So I'm going to turn that off, but that's
Thank you.
that's what it is. And you can also make it high contrast for someone who's just visually impaired to the point where they need that contrast. Okay, so those are under ease of access. So that's what they refer to, I guess, as their accessibility. All right, so I'm going to back out of here if I can. And I should have, I think because of our change in screen, it's not, oh, I'm just not going far enough. There it is. Upper right, we can exit. That's what I want to do is go back. Okay. Now, getting back down here. I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Okay. The icons that appear.
You can make it a little smaller if you want now. That's fine.
Okay. Now that I have to.
Yeah, but that time, but that time was so tiny, but now you are in a main screen, right?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So we can, okay, I think I reduced it down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went to the zoom, I think. Magnifier.
Let's see, I better look on my screen. I'm trying to look on the other one here.
I like your background.
Thank you. All right, mouse properties, we need to turn that one off. When you're on the, I'll just go ahead and show you this. When you're on that bottom panel down there, you can do a right click on your mouse and it gives you some different options, okay? So if I'm on the second one here, I wasn't exactly sure, it looked like the mouse, but I did a right click and it says you can close the window from there. Okay,
Oh.
so I can just do that directly. Here's the magnifier, that's what I was looking for.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and
150.
I'll pull it up and I'm gonna go ahead and make it 100 because
Okay.
that way I can see everything on the, on the window.
Okay.
But if we need that again, I'll just leave it down there.
Yes, now it's easy, we know where it is.
Okay, all right, so we have, these are the programs that I have chosen to put on the desktop, and you don't always have to put them there. It gets a little confusing because the program resides on your computer whether or not it has an icon on the desktop. But this is just a quicker way to get to it. The quickest way is to have it down here on your taskbar, and you can see that I have most of those. I don't know if there's even, I have Evernote here that is not down there, but if I wanted to open this, I have to click it twice. I have to do 2 clicks. If I'm on the bottom, I just click once. So it is important to realize the only problem, if you click twice, it may open twice and you've got 2 windows and it gets confusing. So down here on the bottom, this is, these just have to be opened 1 time. And I'm going to show you just, so we looked at settings for the mouse. There's settings for lots of things, and we won't go over all of those, but those are the settings, that's how you would go about changing. And you can search for it right there on the taskbar where it says type here, just search right over here. Okay, I want to show you this one because I think this is it's called the snipping tool, and they're changing the name of it. So it's going to be Snip and Sketch. This is a great tool, even while you're in class, because there's a way that you can, you see something on the screen and you're like, oh, I need to take a picture of that. This is how you would do it.
Okay, how do you do it? Snipping tool?
It's
Where
you would go down to search. So you would go to your the start
start,
button,
search,
and you're going to type in Snip and Sketch, or just right
Snip.
now, yeah, it comes up under Snipping Tool, but they've changed the name to Snip.
S-N-I-P.
So Snip and Sketch. All right. Now it's going to tell you what to do. So it's not like you have to, right on the first screen, it says if you want to take a picture of everything, you're going to press these 3 keys and you will copy whatever is on your screen. Now I'm going to say that again and then tell you where it's going to copy it to.
Snip.
The Windows logo key is the one we talked about, the start key, the bottom left. You're going to hold that down. This is just your shortcut, and the Shift and the S. So you might want to write that on a Post-it note and stick it back.
Okay, Shift and S.
And the S, okay?
Shift and S.
So they're right there in the left corner, left bottom. So you're going to do the Windows key, Shift and S. I'm going to see if what happens if I
Oh,
do
we have
it.
to open the window too. First, we have to put a start.
You don't know. This is this one. This is how you would get there directly if you didn't want to open the snipping tool.
Shift.
Go through it. So it's just your shortcut.
Shift plus S.
So let me demonstrate, and then I'm going to let you try it, and then
Yeah.
oops, I just did it on that because I wasn't. And then I will let you. Okay, so
Press window logo key. Okay, and then Shift and S.
All right. So let me go through the steps, and then I will let you
Try.
give it a try. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to use the Windows key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Let me go over.
Where's your window key?
Let me go over and get something that I want to copy. Okay, so this should be coming up here. Okay, so I know that I opened the snipping tool down there, but the first thing it told me was about this shortcut. So let me do this, and I'm just gonna let's see. I'm gonna go take something. Let's say I want to do the weather, and I happen to like weather bugs, so I'm gonna go there and check the weather. So I'm just going to check it here, and then I'm just going to take a picture of this because I'm, going to send it to somebody. I don't know. They don't believe me that it's 55 degrees or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the Windows key, the Shift, and the S. And now I have this cursor that's across, and I can click and hold, pull it down till I get what I want in that, and it's saved. Where does it put it? Well, right down here, you may not be able to read that, but it says Snip Saved to Clipboard. Select here to mark up and share the image. Well, you might think, well, what if, okay, so there it is. That's what I snipped off of that page. Now I click on it, it's just a picture, it's nothing else. What am I going to do with it? Well, you can save it up here. There's a little icon that looks like a disc, an old time disc. You can save it. Or you also have it on the clipboard. So if you are going to an email, then you can just paste it. Because whatever goes on the clipboard is kind of a one-time thing. You make a copy of it, you go somewhere and you paste it. I say one time. You can paste it more than that, but it's not, when you copy something else, it's going to replace that item. So it's kind of quick. I'm going to exit out of here again. It's going to stay there, I'm sure, and I'm going to reduce that. Okay, so if I go back and let's say I'm looking at something else. Maybe I really meant to give them the 10-day forecast. Okay, so let's move down here. Get rid of all my Zoom windows. Let's see. I think I have to leave that open. It won't let me. Okay, so let's say I'm going to do the Windows key, the Shift, and the S again. It kind of fades. It also shows me some options up here at the very top. If you can see around my name, it looks like. You can try that. And I'm just going to click and hold, get on one side of what I want, and I'm going to drag it over. I'm going to let go. And then I have it saved on the clipboard. It's a virtual clipboard. You just have to think of it as taking a picture, and then we're going to paste it somewhere else. Let's say I just, I'll show you another tool that Windows has built in.
I have a question.
Yes.
What does that markup mean? It says.
Oh, yes, very good. Very good question. All right, so I need to go to the snipping tool because that's where it's made this. Let's see, where is it at? Have it open twice here. It'll even do a delay for you if that's. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this to avoid confusing myself there. Okay, the markup is where you can add something to it, and I'm just trying to get back to where it said that I had that, but let me just do it again, and then we'll have it. Okay, Windows key or start key, Shift S. Now mine does a pop-up here, but I could have gone back to the icon here at the bottom, because notice that it does put it in the snip and sketch. Okay, markup. Well, I can write on it. I can highlight something. I can be like, look, Saturday's going to be nice, a little cold. I can circle something, whatever. You can actually take a pen and, like, you know, you can, I'm not going to try to write much, but you can do that. There are different things we could crop it, click on that.
So where are we going to get this option, the markup?
They're all in, yes, they're all in the snip and sketch. Once you make the sketch, then it's going to let you do things like this. So you can adjust it however you want. And I think that's it. I think we say apply, and then we've changed it a little bit. And now when we save it, we're saving the markup as well. Now, when you go to save it, it does let you put, let's see, I could have a new folder. I could just put it in there, and I could say weather for this week. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it's obviously not going to make sense next week, but there it
Okay,
is.
I have another question. After
Yes.
you do the markup, before you save it,
Mhm.
if you make a mistake,
This
how
button
do
right here.
you
Undo.
erase it? Ah, okay. That's good.
This
Thank
is
you.
your, yep, that's the button. I
Okay.
don't know if it'll let me step back now because I have saved it, but there you go. I would have thought it would have. Okay, but that is, and you can, yeah, you can make a copy, you can zoom. This is really nice if you're trying to explain something to someone, or you just want to quickly get a recipe, you know, just, or whatever. It's easy to do, and you can, before I say that, you should be able to print from here. You can print directly from here as well. So it's a quick way to take a note or something like that. All right, and yes, so we'll leave it there. There's also, last time we talked about something called Sticky Notes. There it is. Sticky Notes is an app that's built into Windows. You can type, what did I started typing notes, you can type sticky notes or whatever, it's 2 words. And when it says app, we can click on that. I could also click over here on open or new note. I could go directly to these functions as well. It's meant to make it easier for you, but sometimes it's more complicated in my estimation, because you see it here and you're like, okay, I'm going to open that. And you're like, well, what about all these choices? It's just, this is just more detail. You can click here once here just on sticky notes and it'll open it for you. Okay. So I think this is just a list of my sticky notes. These are like your Post-it notes for your computer.
But we can get it from the app, or we can get it from the start menu button.
The start menu button is the quickest way to get it. Now, let's go ahead and do that. So click down here and do sticky. You just have to start. You don't even have to do the whole thing. As soon as it appears, you can click up on where it's highlighted. I'm not going to open it again, but there it is. Let me get rid of my background here.
Mine is window 10. I don't see anything in my window start the weekend. I can write in the bottom. I don't have that one.
In the
Window 10.
Okay, it should. So when you type in the search and you type like sticky, it doesn't come up.
Oh my gosh, I don't see you anymore. I see, oh, how am I going to move that? Oh.
Your Zoom is probably, you probably just closed the Zoom out. Oops, I didn't mean to.
No, Zoom is right there, but I can hear you. But mine is now Gmail inbox open some reason. I don't know why.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, you could have just clicked on it, but yeah.
Okay, now I got it. Okay.
Got it back, okay. All right, so the sticky notes, the little plus here just lets you create a new one. These are just nice because you can give yourself a reminder. And when you turn the computer off, they're going to still be there. I think it will let me paste. This is what I wanted to check. I think I can paste. Yeah, I sure can. So when you clip something, you can even paste it right there on a sticky note if you're just doing something quick, which a lot of times you just need a number or something from one page. You can use your sticky note to do that.
Oh,
So you would click the plus to get another sticky note. Let's see what this one does here. Yep. And then how do you paste? I skipped that step. Sorry about that. There's two ways to do it, and I'm going to go over those now. This is the way you cut and paste. I had something on the clipboard, so all I did was, paste. I get this menu that shows up, copy, and I can probably make this a little bigger here. Maybe. Why won't they move?
so we can paste the sticky note, whatever we're going to take the picture or a screenshot.
You can put anything you want on a sticky note. It's not really related to the other program that I showed you, but it can be. I mean, you can take what you copied or what you did, the little clip, and then come over here. And then if you use Control and V as in victory at the same time,
Control V,
same time, it will paste whatever is on the clipboard. And so the clipboard is like it's just whatever you last put on there is what you're going to have.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of times it's nice to be able to do that, and then it will save on the sticky notes until you get rid of them.
Okay.
When you want to get rid of them,
Just
you
exit
can go
out.
to the exit actually doesn't get rid of it. There is a, let's see, I've got two the same here. I don't know which one. You have to go to the ...
Okay.
And it says delete.
Delete note. ...
is more. That's one of the ways. Do you want to delete? Yes, I do. So now it's gone. Okay.
Do the sticky notes just stay on top screen, or do they wear off?
If I turn it off, I mean, like I can exit from sticky notes here. I can get rid of, I can get rid of all of them, but yeah. So when you close the last one out, did you notice it down here at the bottom, it went away. Okay, so really what is nice to have is to go ahead and let's open sticky notes. I just searched for it. I don't have it up there on the desktop, but now while it's down here on the taskbar, let's do a right click on your mouse, right click, pin to taskbar. Pin to taskbar is the second option up there. And once I have done that, then I don't have to search for it next time because it'll be there.
Got it.
And I always forget to do that. Yeah. So it's there. And I was going to also, when you close it out, and then reopen it, it will come back the same as before. So I had this one open before and it came back that way. All right. Any other questions on that? No. See, it lets you create a new note from right here. You can even just go down on the icon and do a right click. This is before I've even opened it. I can just do a new note from there directly.
I just want to try this screenshot one, the snip one.
Okay.
I don't know in my computer how I'm going to do. I don't know.
So when you type in snip, does it give you an icon? Does it give you an app? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't try yet. I just want to try.
Okay.
To
so
just
you can
start because I don't have window logo, And then as soon as I do the window logo, I see the search sign and I search magnifying glass. So now I have to write down snip, S-N-I-P, snip tool.
So just do snip, and then has it searched? Usually it searches while you're typing.
They come snip tool now. Snip tool window 10, snip tool Mac, mine is window 10. Okay. Then I click on window 10.
Okay, now wait a second. It needs to be under apps though, because if it's just on the internet, it'll just tell you what it is. Okay, so if it's under apps, you can open it.
Oh, there's nothing coming up. Nothing coming up. I write it down and I click and it's big screen pop up. That's it. Where is it? I have to keep write every time. I don't want to write every time. One time I'm going to pin it up. Snip tool. Yeah, I got that one. I click on it and it's gone in the bottom. Okay. It's automatic. They come in the bottom. It's scissor. One scissor and round thingy.
Yeah, when it's down there, it's easier to pull it up.
Yeah.
And one thing when you're doing the search, like if let's say I'm doing a search and I type something, let's say I want mouse. Okay, so it gives
Yeah.
me everything on the computer that has to do with the mouse.
Yes.
So the settings and so forth. Say if I'm doing, let's say I do notes, because the sticky, I could be confused and I think, well, what was that thing called? So I did notes. And I have an app here called Notepad, and then there's another app here, and it's not sure which one I want yet. Interesting though, when I type the S for notes, the other one goes away. So it's almost like this is just a suggestion that, oh, maybe you want sticky notes. So it isn't exactly, if you type it in, if you type the whole thing in, you're going to have the spacing and exact spelling and everything right. So sometimes less is more here. So if
Yeah.
you just start typing snip, then you're going to get what you want. Whereas if you did
Yes.
something and whatever, so it is a little bit easier. All right, let me see. I want to make sure we get back to storage. That was one thing I wanted to talk about. But while we're on the start menu down here, let's look at the option we have for turning things off.
You have a window 10, my friend? You have a window 10?
It should be, yes. Yeah, this is,
So mine doesn't have a bottom. Yeah, I have a exact like yours, four squares.
Mhm.
But when I click on it, they don't give me on the side to write down in the bottom. That's the only one I have. I don't have it.
Okay, I can take a look at yours like during the
Later
break.
on, after the
Yeah.
class. Yeah. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, so when you're looking here, it is a little different when you do the start versus that. If you click right on the magnifying glass, you're
Yes.
going to get a different option there.
Option.
All right,
Got it.
so let's go ahead and, whoops. Okay, let me step through this, and we're going to go through, this is important because when you turn your computer off, so we're on the start, you want to go to this button right here, which says power. You don't want to use the power button unless it's locked up for some reason, because it doesn't close everything down the way it should, especially if you have a laptop and you're going to be moving it. It does a different, the way it shuts down using this button here, the power button, and I'll not turn mine off, that would be bad. You have your choice to sleep, which is just, kind of a power saver, do a shutdown or a restart. If you're having trouble with your computer, you want to do a complete shutdown, because again, it's a little different than just doing a restart. It doesn't actually take all the power away from the system. And there are certain things that can reset when you do a complete shutdown, leave it off for a minute or so, and then power it back up. So those are your options for powering off. And I just want to make sure that you use this button when you're going to power down and not the physical key on your computer. It does not shut everything down nicely, and sometimes you can get more corrupt files, or the hard disk, the way you store position to move, and we'll just leave it there. It's just better to do that. Okay, it looks like my internet is not doing great. So did y'all hear that? Are we okay with that?
Sometimes it's cutting off your
Yes.
voice.
Is it? Okay. All right, I'm going to stop the screen share for a minute and let it catch up. And I'm going to make sure this other computer is not on. So is it a little bit better when my screen share's off?
Rita,
Yes.
how often should you shut the computer down completely?
Well, I would say every day, but I don't think a lot of us do that because it does go into this sleep mode and we don't even realize that it's on. I would say once a week, probably. I'm not sure that that would, I wouldn't go longer than that. One of the things that it will do is it automatically does the updates sometimes when you do the shutdown. So if you don't do shutdowns often enough, it's not going to do the updates. Especially though if you're having trouble, if it seems like it's getting slow to respond, things like that, it may be that it needs to reset. So, you know, ideally maybe it's once a day, but I don't think we realistically do that. So does that answer your question? Sort of.
Yes, yes, and your screen is freezing every so often. Is anybody else's?
Is it still doing it?
Not right now, but before.
Okay, when I was doing the screen share, I think it's probably a little, yeah, a little bit more difficult. Sometimes you can, let's see, we only have my video on, so yeah, I don't have anything else really to change on the setting. I think that's probably what was going on. We may take a break and I can redo my internet and see if that helps any. One of the things, I'll just tell you that, a way to check your internet speed.
While you're doing this one, explain me how can I raise my volume, because when I don't use my earplug, AirPod, so I cannot use, my volume is very low. So maybe somehow I have to raise my volume in the computer.
When you're in the Zoom, when you look at the Zoom screen, down
Yes.
at the bottom where it says unmute and
Yeah.
start video,
Yeah.
if you click on the arrow that's to the right of the microphone, it will let you do a
Up,
test.
up.
Yeah, so it says
Microphone.
test
I did.
speaker and microphone.
I did, but that time says looks good. But right now I cannot hear, so I have to put my AirPod.
Then it might be on the computer itself. Your function, where we talked about the function key and the
Yeah, function. So
speaker.
I don't know which one is the volume. Right now I don't want to mess it up. Before I did, so I totally muted you. So I missed little bit whatever you're saying it. So I don't know which function number, 5, 8, 9, 10. I don't know which one is for the
Well,
volume.
it would be that it would have to have like an icon, like we said, it's like a megaphone shape. It's kind of like a triangular shape with a plus and a minus.
And you have to put the control key, right? FN key.
Mm-hmm.
F11. Let's see. F11 is no. Okay. Okay. Plus minus maybe. Yeah, it says 100% right now.
Okay. All right. I can
That's
check.
okay.
Yeah, I can
Later
check
on.
mine to make sure that that
Switch to
it's up.
phone audio. Switch
Okay.
to phone audio. Leave computer
No,
audio.
no, you want to do computer audio. Yeah,
Okay.
you want to stay on that. So sometimes there is a way to do a speed test to check your internet, and I can see mine's lagging too. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off my second computer because that will help a little bit. I just won't be able to see exactly what you see. Okay, so you can tell me if it improves a little bit because I turned off. I had two computers trying to
Yeah,
access, so
sounds a
let's make
little
sure.
better.
Okay, so this is the location you can check your internet speed. This is called speedtest.net. So anyway, that's just one. Sometimes your internet provider, Comcast or Charter, will give you one. I think, well, I'm not sure I'm really going to trust the people who are providing this for me to tell me how fast it is. But anyway, a lot of times when you need to call in and explain to them that it's not working, you can have these numbers and the upload and the download speed. So anyway, this is one of those pages that I'm not sharing my screen, so I guess you're not seeing this, but let me go back. Where are you at? All right. So speedtest.net, you can type that into a browser.
Recording that
Let's see here.
outbound thing, so don't knock it off the rail.
Okay, I'm going to mute people there, but I've left it so you can come back on and if you need to ask a question. But yeah, there we go. Now I can get back to my share screen. All right, and we'll see if this works a little bit better. We will take a break here, and if you've got some technical problems, we'll see if we can work them out. Okay, it says I'm screen sharing.
Yeah, we can see you.
You can see, can you see the screen
Yes,
now? Okay.
yes, we did.
All right. Okay, very good. So now I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to make this smaller. Okay. All right. So where I wanted to be here, it was at this speedtest.net. Is everybody seeing that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's tons of ads on here. And as I've mentioned, you want to avoid, you don't want to, if it has the symbol up here, that is the ad symbol. And so you want to be, avoid clicking on those. What we're interested here is just the center. To test, you just click on the go and then it will come back and tell you your upload and your download speeds. And
Speedtest.net.
so then you can then, if you have a problem, call your provider and say, hey, this is what I'm getting, and they can help you. Hopefully they can help you. At least that's a start. So that's you know, if you have a wireless connection, it's going to be, you know, not as fast as they promise. They always promise, you know, up to this amount. So
Yeah.
the fastest is always going to be if you're directly connected without a wireless signal. Okay, so I want to go back. Let's close this out. Okay. I just want to tell you a couple more things about the desktop, and then we will, let me get up there. Okay. All right, so you should be able to see my desktop at this point. Down here, if I want to select one of these, I click once. If I want to do something like close it out, I do a right click, and it gives me a list of options. Okay. What about up here? Let's do a right click when I'm in this empty space on the desktop. So it tells me that I can change my icons, make them small, medium, large. I can auto arrange them. Let's try that. Just pops them into line. Easy way to clean it up. I'm just going through here to see the options. I can sort them if I have a lot of stuff on my desktop. I can sort according to the name. They can be in alphabetical order. Sorry about that. I keep moving around. Maybe hard to see this, but the item type or the date modified. So there's just ways that you can rearrange your files. Not really too worried about that right now. What I did want to show you was the display setting and personalize. Personalize is the fun one because then you can put your own pictures or a slideshow or whatever. You can create your own background. Let's see, picture. I don't have any pictures on this computer, so I'm just going to browse here and see if there's anything else I might want to use. I could even use the what I just snipped off of the, not sure that.
We can that one, no problem.
So let's see, I'm just going to put this one here. This is just like a computer. I could use it as my work computer. Mm-hmm. I can choose that, and that's going to be my new background. Well, how do I know? Way to the right of the taskbar is a little sliver, and it really is not very big. So I'm not sure this is the best way to tell you, but you can actually go to your desktop directly from anywhere, anytime, all the way to the right, the bottom. You don't even really, you just kind of push the cursor off screen and click, and it will take you to your desktop, and click again, and it'll take you back to where you are. There are times that it's nice because you maybe want to see a file, see if a file's on your desktop or something like that. So that's just a shortcut. It's not super, you know, something you're going to use every day, but it's to the far right of your, way over here on the bottom. Okay, so I'd rather have a prettier background there, so I'm going to go back up and do a right click on the mouse one time and go down to personalize. And I think instead of that picture, I will pick this one here. Is that the one I had before? I don't remember. Okay. So then when I leave that, go check out what's on my desktop, it's changed to this picture. You can put a family picture, or you can put, something fun. Is how you would change it. Go to your desktop and right click on a blank area, and then down to personalize. And from there you can choose your picture. Where are your pictures located? Well, we talked a little bit about file structures, and I'm not going to get into that too much right now, but you would click on Browse, and then you could find, you look over here and see if you've got your photos separated out. I've got a big connection there to Dropbox. So photos would be here under Pictures.
Can you go through the steps for that again?
I can.
Thank you.
I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to change it. And I will exit out of here. Okay, so just looking at your desktop, you want to move over into a blank space and do a right click. And I'm going to go to the very bottom to where it says Personalize. Click on that. And it brings up this setting that says Background. It shows me what I have right now. And then it says choose your picture. So I can browse to find a new one, or I can pick one that's listed there. Those are just kind of generics, except the one I added. When I browse, it opens up the Explorer, the File Explorer that is at the stack of folders right down here. This represents all the folders of documents and pictures that you've put on your computer. File Explorer. Now you don't have to click there. It opens it up to give you a choice. And let me do something, and then, because all the stuff here is in my Dropbox, and I want to just close that out and we'll pretend it's not even there. What you're going to have on yours would normally be OneDrive and this PC. The pictures that you have are going to hopefully be under the pictures or the photos. Let's see what I have under photos. I don't think there's anything really exciting there. Okay. So when you have you have to know where your picture is, and that's always this tricky part, So if you've saved it, pictures from your camera roll, or you have just something that you copied, you emailed yourself, you can save it to Pictures, and then you can pick from here. Once you've selected your picture and clicked on it, then you would just click on this Choose Picture. Is that better, or is that okay?
Fine, thanks. That's
Okay.
great.
All right. Yeah, the way things are stored on the computer is worthy of at least another class or two, so I don't want to get too far into that, but usually you're going to have them under camera or photo over here, and you can pick what you'd like. Let me exit out of that. All right, there's also display settings. That was right above Personalize, and this is just settings for your display, and I just want to show you where they are because sometimes you might want to change. This would also be another way to change the brightness. You wouldn't have to use the key. You could do that here. So I can change the brightness of the display. And here's sound. This would be another way that you could change your sound. Okay, so this is I'll go over how to get there again, but it's just from your desktop, and then the master volume is here. Your microphone is here, and so forth. How do you get there? Back to your desktop, right click, display settings, right above Personalize. And that takes you to just a list of things you can change. It takes you to display, but sound and other items are going to be right there. Okay, so how your notifications work. It's just like on your phone, how you power it off, all of these things. These are just things you can adjust. I think sometimes there's so many options that we don't know. You know, it'd be nice to have a computer that you could kind of personalize and then it's done. You don't have to go back to these things. But, you know, all of us want something slightly different at times, so that's a little bit hard. But you don't have to change the picture. That's just if you would like to. If you'd like to change your background, and you can make it into a slideshow. That option is there also.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
This is my son's old computer, so he has a lot of stuff on here that I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
It says talk to Cortana. What is that?
That is your speech control on your computer. I don't know if they've changed the name. Is it C-O-R? Yeah, there it is, Cortana.
It's very, very, my volume go away, you know, I cannot hear you. I was hearing before so good, now very low. The gentleman just asked you, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Very
Just
low.
barely.
Hello, ask me again.
Can you hear me now?
Little better, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, much better, little better. Yeah, much better.
Okay. It may be with the connection. It may not be. Nancy asked about the Cortana. Cortana is the ability. I guess it's like Alexa or you know, the Sierra, whatever the different phones have for talking and giving instructions. I haven't used it that much, Nancy, so I'm not sure how good it is as far as getting exactly what you want, but it would be helpful, of course, if you can't use a mouse or if you need some extra, you know, if typing is difficult, but that's what it's for. You know,
so it works basically like Google?
It works like a voice controlled for Google, yeah, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take a break and let's see what time it is. Okay, we're at 12:15, so let's take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and finish up. If you have questions, I'm going to put a whiteboard up, and if you want to, let me stop sharing here, and I'll put a whiteboard if you'd like to enter a question on there, or of course when I get back you can tell me, but just kind of for the practice. All right, let's take about 5 minutes, and I will see you in a minute. I'll go ahead and mute everybody and see you in a few minutes. There we go. All right, I'm just going to share the screen again. Okay, so if I go to the start, and I could go straight to settings, but let's just search for Bluetooth and see if we can find the settings. It'll be systems settings for Bluetooth. So I'm going to open that. And it lets me know whether or not I have Bluetooth turned on. And if I want to add something, I don't think these headphones are powered up, but I would just click Add Bluetooth. And it would search locally to see if there's any devices that are turned on. And would be the first one here. And it's going to tell me that it has it found a few things, and if I don't know what those are, then I'll probably just leave them alone, because they could be headphones or they could be a TV or something. Usually they give you a reasonable name that you can figure out. But if you want to connect it, you just click on the device there. One thing about Bluetooth is if it's connected to something already, it's going to give you trouble often trying to connect it to something else. So you want to disconnect from your phone or from a TV or something like that before you try to use a headset with your computer. It's especially true with keyboards and mice that are Bluetooth, that are connected through Bluetooth. You want to disconnect from one before you try to connect. Down here in the very bottom, can you all see this? I know you can't read it, but if you're looking down the bottom right corner of your taskbar, you're going to see a lot of icons down there. And those are, all right, get back to that. Let's see, I can't reach it. No. Let me stop the share so that when I'm sharing, I can't get all the way off the screen here. Let me see if I can get it back. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so when you're down here in the corner, these are just notifications or kind of a place where you can go to check, for example, maybe to make sure your security software is working okay. And if there's any notifications about security, there's your Bluetooth devices. They're listed there. So you can actually just go there to add one. You don't have to go to the settings every time. This is just a quick way to check on different, I guess, programs, applications. It's just like a dashboard that gives you a quick way to go there, check on your internet access. And there's another way to change your volume right there in the corner, bottom right corner. It says speakers. If I click on that, I can adjust my volume. So that might help as well. Okay, that would be how you would know if you have Bluetooth. Go to your settings and look for adding a Bluetooth device. It's not always going to work the first time. Sometimes you have to turn things off and back on. In my experience, at least, it's once you get it connected, you're good. But that first time is sometimes a little tricky. Any questions on that one? Is that good? Have I lost y'all?
No, I'm just looking for the setting. I don't know. I didn't find it, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'll ask you later.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I just want to make sure I haven't clicked on my mute button or something like that. Okay, so let's go over, and I wanted to talk just a little bit here about some of the things that you might just not know that are on your computer. For example, there's a calculator. All right, you can pull that up, and it's right there. And you can switch between standard and
Where did you find the calculator?
scientific and so forth. If you go to your search,
Oh, everything we
and
have to find in a search and write down calculator.
yeah, and it's right there under C if you have
Okay,
it in alphabetical.
mine is, we have to change letter setting. Mine is not like that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be different. I don't know if you click on the box for search, it's different than clicking on the start, but it still may be different from one computer to the next. But usually if you do the button that's on the keyboard, you get a little bit more information. Some people like to use these tiles. This is just the same as the taskbar. You can pin things over here, these blocks, or you can click on them to find out more information there. So those are available as well. Okay, calendar is another one. After calculator, there's a calendar. We'll just leave that alone. And you can put events on here. This is actually tied to my Gmail account, so this would go on both this calendar and the Gmail calendar. So you can connect to what's on your phone if you set up an appointment one place or the other. That's just under calendar, and then event would be right here, the plus on the left side to add an event. And
Rita,
yes,
Rita,
yes.
do they automatically connect?
You have to have the account. Like, see, mine says this calendar is actually my Gmail calendar. I don't know if you
Okay.
can see.
I have that. on
Okay.
my-
So if yours says that it's your Gmail, then if you type here and type in an event, then it would appear on your phone if your phone is also tied to Gmail. So it does have to be like logged into both accounts, but typically once you set that up, it will do that. And one of the things, like if I were to put down here, let's say I want to put down Monday's class, so that's the 19th, and it starts at 1 and ends at 3. So I've got that on there now, and I can make some notes. But notice up here there's a repeat. There's a repeat sign here. You see this circle? So that way you can click on that and you can say, you know, this is going to happen every Monday. Not Friday's a different time, so it's just Monday. But every Monday it's going to put that on my calendar. And if I want to end after so many weeks, I can do that. I can say let's say this class is probably going to end in November or maybe.
So this is going to be in a search bar, right? Search.
For some reason,
Under
I'm
calendar.
not seeing your screen.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see if it is.
I just ready to about to tell you that.
No, I appreciate it because I had to turn my other laptop or my other computer off. So what it is it's I'm sharing my screen. Let me go back and see if there's an option to do, but that's kind of a function of the computer. So let me see if it'll let me do the calendar portion of screen. I don't know about that. Let's see. I didn't know about this. So this is, this could work here. So what I can show you is just like where I'm working at. I think that's, so right here, I picked, this was in the calculator. So I actually want to be in the calendar. So I'm going to go back to the search bar and type in calendar. Okay, and now I'm hoping I can make this a little bit bigger. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to change. Yeah, I think it'll change. So this repeat was the one that I was wanting to talk about. Okay, so when I click on repeat, it gives me a chance to start and stop. So it'll start on October 16th, and weekly, I want to do it every Monday. So I'm going to check Monday. And then end at the end of November. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and then you can even invite somebody if you want, and they're going to get that notification on their calendar, and you can share information. You can even put a link down here if I wanted to give you the, I'm not going to look it up, but I could give you the link to class. And this is the way we could communicate. It would just go straight to your calendar, and the link would be there, and you just click on it and you're in class. So that is a nice feature, I think, with calendar. Now, we talked about whether or not this would appear. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Let's see which calendar it's on. It's on my Gmail calendar. Okay, so I've got 1 p.m. class every day. I think my computer, yeah, I know my phone was here a minute ago. I was just going to check to kind
Oh,
of.
you have a class every day, 1 o'clock?
Just on Mondays.
Monday, every Monday.
Oh, yes, every Monday at 1 and Fridays at 11.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm going to go to my computer and my calendar. I think it's time we stop. I'm getting my words all mixed up. Okay, and then it does usually take us you have to refresh. And it's on there. It's on there as computer class. So sometimes people have a work calendar, or like I have a family calendar that I put things on that my husband needs to know about, and then so you can have multiple calendars, and that's down here with add calendars. It will allow you to go ahead and let's see, these are popular calendars. Oh, actually those are a little bit different. I don't think that's the if I had another account there, I think I could add it. So if it gets a little more involved, but there's a settings button at the bottom of the calendar screen, right down here. And if you click on that, it will allow you to manage accounts. And that's where you would add another account if you had another email or another, maybe you at work you use Outlook, or with family you use a different, so you can have more than one calendar. But that gets a little, that's more probably than we need to know or get into today. So if you want to change something, you normally can just go back and click on it. Not sure if it'll let me do that for here or not. Yeah. So I get there and I can get back to my details, and I can add. So like if I wanted to invite someone, I can put their email here, and it would send you a notification that you could put on your calendar, or it would automatically, if you give permission, it would add it. Okay. If you want a notification about this, it usually has that on here as well. Reminder, 15 minutes. Maybe I need an hour before, so I can change that up here. So that is the basics on your calendar, but you can do that repeat, which is just really nice if there's something that you do on a regular schedule. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Let's go back. I'm gonna see if I can pull this down here. It may look a little bit strange. I'm gonna close that out. Close out my calculator. I have a tendency to let too many windows stay open, but like on the calculator, if you wanted to leave that here on your desktop, again, you can go down to your bar at the bottom and pin it. And let's see. That says you can keep it on top. That's a nice function. I haven't seen that before, but that little symbol next to the word standard allows you to kind of keep it on top of your window. So if you open something else, it's going to stay up there. Okay, can't quite see it, but it's over here on the top now. Okay, very good. We haven't talked about the App Store. There is an App Store for computers the same as there are for phones, and you can go and you can get programs and games and so forth. You can also use the internet browser and go directly. So for example, I could use, slide this over here. I could use Chrome. I could use Microsoft Edge, which is just another browser that allows you to get to the internet. Firefox. Let's say we want to do Firefox. I think I'll do this as our last, well, we've got just a couple minutes. If I want to add Firefox, I'm going to go through a couple of steps and see if I can, first thing I'm going to do is see if I can go to the App Store and find it. So Microsoft Store, and then there's the Play Store there too. Let's see, I don't know which one. I'm going to go to the Play Store and see if that's it. So I'm on the search. I'm just going to go down here and see if I can find, no, we're going to have to go to the Microsoft Store.
Oh, this is Microsoft Store.
Okay, let's just type up here. Notice there's different tabs: gaming, entertainment, productivity, and then deals. Okay, so I'm interested in looking for, maybe there's a Kindle reader. You can see there's some different things there. Let's say that I want, let's see. We've done the Microsoft 365, but if you need more information, it is right here too. Okay, what did I say we were going to look for? Do anybody remember now that I've gotten here?
Firefox.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can find it here. There's a user guide, but I don't want that. I really want to be able to download it. Guides, BC guides. So it may be, I'm going to try a search here and see. That's a user guide. Tutorial, yeah. So in order to find this, I'm actually just going to have to go on the internet and look for it. But a lot of things you can find there. I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to switch my screen share back to the okay. All right, now let's see. Let's go down here and I'm just going to get a browser. Okay, this is where I was at for speed test, and I'm going to type in Firefox. And one of the things that pops up there is download. So let's just go ahead and go with Firefox download and see what we find. Mozilla is the brand. It also shows up over here on the right. Let's go ahead and do download Firefox browser. I don't really want to download this at this time, but this is how you would do it. You would do the download. And then the reason I mentioned Firefox is in looking at safety for different browsers, it did show that while Google is safe, it's not necessarily as private as we might want to have. And so Firefox is considered to be one of the safest and more private browsers, because we were talking about the issue of the ads and how they know the clicks and everything that you have. So just if you wanted, you could download that and it would come up, it would show as a file. Let's see, I should be able to do it without losing you. Let's see. So notice right down here, it comes up at the bottom left, Firefox installer. And as long as it's blinking, I have to leave it alone. It's still downloading. But once it says open file, I can click on that and then go ahead and do the installation. So I'm going to stop there and let it go and come back to screen sharing. So yeah, that's just if you want to download something. A lot of times people don't know that they need to click again on the installer, and then it'll ask you a few questions, and then it will pop up as with an icon on your desktop. All right, so several things that hopefully have at least given you an idea that, oh, well, I can use that Bluetooth device on my computer, or maybe I need to get an external drive to save my pictures on and things like that. So if you do plug in something, this is the only thing I didn't get a chance to do. If you plug it in, you're going to see on your folders, if you click on those folders at the bottom, you're going to see an additional space, and that's going to represent this extra drive that you've connected, whether it's a little flash drive like one of these, or whether it's a larger device like the external drives. They're going to appear as a folder down in that very bottom. And we're going to look some more at the storage and how to organize things and your photos and all that. That was another class that we have coming up. All right, so I'm going to stop there, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them. And otherwise, have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Okay,
Thank
this
you,
is
Ms. Rita.
today's session is over, right?
The class is over, yes, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. But yeah, if you have questions, I
Thank
can
you.
stay around.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank you.
okay. So while I was doing this,